Coach, we'll love to hear from you your thoughts on the highs and lows of the series, the team's journey thus far, and what you're looking forward to in a pinnacle Game 5 tomorrow night.
Well, I think we're just, we're really excited to be here. I mean, what an opportunity for us, for our players, for our team, our staff, everyone to get a chance to play in a Game 5 in a finals. Obviously the other night was tough, but we're excited. We get to play another hockey game, so I know our group's really excited.
Kendall, for you, the team is one win away from hoisting that Walter Cup. Despite last night, Sunday's result, the championship is still within your grasp. Just your excitement, anticipation, and all the feelings heading into what will be a very exciting end to the season.
Yeah, just to echo what Coach Klee just said, we're excited, and there's a reason it's a 5-game series. So we live to fight another day. But I will have to say that last game in Minnesota was, despite the outcome, was incredible. And I think we have the greatest fans in the league, and they definitely showed up the other night for us, and it was awesome. And we're excited to be here in Lowell and get back to work. And it comes down to one game. This is where our season started, and this is where it's going to end. So we're super excited for the opportunity.
Thank you, Kendall. We'll take questions now, folks. I know for some of the media that just joined this availability, please use your digital hand within the Zoom console to request a question. We'll call upon you individually, ask you to unmute. Please introduce yourself and the media outlet that you are representing. We'll begin with Tyler Kuhl, please.
Thank you, Paul. Tyler Kuhl here from Daily Faceoff. Coach, this one's for you. When you were hired by Minnesota, as crazy as that whole scenario was, did you think that the season, whether it be Minnesota or Boston or any other team, did you think the championship series would have came down to one game, a fifth and deciding game with everything on the line?
No, when I first came aboard, I really wasn't sure what to expect. You're going into a new league, a new season. Obviously, I'd had experience with the national team, but really, I didn't expect it to be so competitive with every team. Teams 1 through team 6. I mean, we all beat each other. We all went to overtime with each other. It's just really incredible to me that the parity in the league, like to start a new league and to make sure. Obviously the general managers and the people kind of running the draft did a great job with. There's so much parity. It really comes down to small details and little parts of every game or ebbs and flows that make a difference. So to start the year, I definitely was not, foreseeing that it would go to a Game 5 in a finals match. But then once we got into the season, I think I quickly realized that, hey, this is going to be a small detail every night is going to make the difference in a win and a loss. And there's just not much difference between teams 1 to 6. I think we've seen it all year, which for me is really exciting. It's exciting for the sport. It's exciting for the league. It's exciting for fans when they're watching to see how tight everything is and how hard these ladies work every night. And there's no off nights. If you have an off night, you're going to lose. So, to me, it's been great.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment entirely. And my follow-up here for Kendall, we just talked with one of your national teammates and Hillary Knight, and I asked her this question. I'll ask it to you as well. You've played in so many big games, one and dones, gold medal games, the Olympics, World Championships, but having it be at this magnitude for this league right off the hop in year 1, a 5th game to determine who wins the Walter Cup. How big is that, not just for the league and its popularity, but also for women's hockey in general?
It's huge. I think this is year 1 of someone hoisting the Walter Cup. A cup that we learned its name and its significance a few months back. But I think there's going to be a lot of young kids watching that trophy be hoisted tomorrow night, saying, I want to win the Walter Cup one day. And I think for a lot of us growing up, we saw the Stanley Cup get hoisted, and we never saw anyone that looked like us hoisting it. And there's obviously been iterations of cups in women's professional hockey, but since then. But I think the significance of this is it's only going to continue to get bigger and heavier and harder. It's going to be it's going to be incredible. And I think the significance is as significant in anything as in anything else that you can win in women's hockey, whether that was a cup in any iteration of women's pro hockey, it was a gold medal in the Olympics, it was an NCAA championship. This is kind of that I would say the icing on top of the cake in terms of what you can win in women's hockey.
Thank you very much.
Ian Kennedy, please.
Thanks, Paul. Ian Kennedy from the Hockey News. I'll start with Kendall on this one, but also I'd like to hear what Ken has to say. I asked the same question of Boston. Obviously, you've played a lot of single game elimination style tournaments, IIHF, previous championships and other iterations of leagues. And this one, people talked about managing the 5-game series, the longer playoffs, but here we are back to a single game for the championship. What experience do you take, Kendall, from those big gold medal games where it's one and done? And what message can you take from those and give to your team heading into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think our mindset all year has been, to focus on the game that's right in front of us. And it was one game at a time, and that message doesn't change. It's one game at a time, and there's only one game left. So there's no looking ahead to the future in this situation. And I think the difference is, yes, it comes down to one game, but we can't forget that 4 games have been played, and there's a lot to take away from those 4 games and the things that we've done well, and the areas that we want to be sharper for tomorrow. So I think that's, while it is going to come down to one game, there is a difference in the fact that 4 games have been played, 2 series have been played up until this point for both of us. So, but yeah, I think that's the message.
Ken, anything different from you in terms of your messaging to the team with this being last shot, one game, win or lose, the season's done?
Yeah, no, I agree with Kendall 100%. I mean, we've kind of been going now for a while on we just have to win one game, and that's our focus, and that's what we're going to be looking at. We're not worried about anything past the first period, during the first period, and then we'll move on from there. So it's just kind of take small bites. Obviously, you can get overwhelmed, I think, as an athlete, if you start looking too far ahead or looking at where you could be on the podium, in a different situation. It's the best way athletes function is to give them a task at hand, keep them focused, and keep them really intense on their goal of that shift and period.
Thank you both.
Yep, thanks.
Luca Tedesco, please.
Lucas Tedesco, Beyond Women's Sports. This is more for Kendall, but Coach, if you'd like to chime in as well. There were 7 minutes and 43 seconds of real time between the initial goal going in and the second, and the Mueller goal going in. How do you handle the emotional roller coaster of that brief moment and get back to eyes on the prize? We have to play again come tomorrow.
Yeah, you just control what you can control in that moment. And quickly after the call on the ice was made, the refs were telling us to put our helmets on, and we got a face off, we got a puck to drop. So you don't really have much time to digest, process, and move forward based on what just happened. So I think it's getting back to the bench, controlling what we can control. Obviously putting our helmets, our gloves back on, and taking it one shift at a time. But obviously it's not an easy an easy moment to come down from in an instance. That's reality, that's emotions, that's life. But I would say that's we kind of didn't really have a choice to digest it. We had to go line up for a face off and continue to play.
A quick follow-up. Were you expecting after you saw the video on the ice, were you expecting it to come back, or was it, what was the thoughts just on the ice as you see in the video?
I was on the ice and didn't see the video.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I saw the video. I mean, I knew there was a definite possibility it could be getting called back. It's tough to, we have iPads on our bench now. We just got them, a few weeks ago, so we can kind of see some replay a little bit, just one angle, but still, just seeing the one angle, it's hard to tell, if our player was tripped going to the net or pushed, or, you know what I mean? It's a close looking play. So I definitely thought it was a possibility, but I think the right call was made. Obviously, it's unfortunate for us, but at the end of the day, we all want the right call to be made, and we got to move on.
Thank you.
Chris Donkin, please.
Hey there, Carissa from CBC Sports in Canada. Thanks for making the time. So for those of us watching at home on Sunday night, at the end of the game on the broadcast, they showed a little boy in a Minnesota jersey, and he was just bawling. He was distraught by the end of the game. And I know we talk an awful lot about, what the league means to young girls and whatnot, but it's not just for young girls, right? I just wondering if you could talk a little bit about the significance of an image like that.
Yeah, I think this league has never been just about inspiring young girls. It's been about inspiring people, not just young people, all people. And I think the inclusivity of this league is what has made it so successful in year one. And the fact that, in your example that you're bringing up, young boys and girls walk into the rink and they're inspired. They want to be there. They want to root us on. They are so excited and disappointed whether you win or you lose, but they want to come back. They want to root for PWHL Minnesota. They want to wear that jersey. I think that's for, like I mentioned before, a lot of us growing up, even though I didn't see anyone that really looked like me in a Blackhawks jersey, I still wanted to wear one. I wanted those were, that's who I saw as a kid. And it's no different for the young boys and young girls who come to the Xcel Energy Center and watch us play. Whether they can relate to us because they want to play in the league, or they're just fans of us because they're fans of the game. This league has never been just about inspiring young girls. But I think the importance of, a young girl and a young boy walking into that game, knowing they're leaving that game with the same dream, that they can be a professional hockey player if they're good enough to do so. And specifically in Minnesota, one day they show up at the Xcel Energy Center wearing green, and the next day they show up wearing purple. But they're fans of the game. And I think that's what's so important.
And just a quick one, building on what you were saying earlier, Kendall, about the Walter Cup and what that means. If you can think back to when you first laid eyes on it, I don't know if you've seen it in person. I know you haven't gotten to touch it at this point, but what went through your mind when you saw like a tangible, image of here's what I'm working for? Like what did you think of when you first saw it?
Well, I think I saw it when it was released publicly. I think it was kind of during the World Championships, I remember. And, there's kind of a moment that I've experienced as an Olympian when they release the designs of the medals. And that design and that color is kind of becomes your phone background, unless you have babies or dogs, maybe. But, that medal just kind of becomes ingrained in you. It's that motivation that you use, like when you're training long days, the hard days. It's like, that's what I'm striving to win. And that was no different when they announced the design of the Walter Cup. And I think it's important to recognize the significance of the name. Mark and Kimber Walter have made a significant investment for all of us to be here. And so when I saw the name, I thought I was really happy because it's such a significant investment. And the professionalism that has followed that investment has allowed all of us to live out this dream. And so, the design is incredible. The name is absolutely what it should be. So it'd be definitely a dream come true to be the first team to hoist that over our heads tomorrow night.
Thanks.
C. Benwell, please.
Thanks, Paul. I'm wondering a little bit about the personal journey behind this season for both of you. We know that you're not just hockey players and coaches, you're people. And, Kendall, as a mom, you came into the season a little bit later, as you mentioned, because of, getting back from giving birth. Ken, I know you had to move and you were brought in kind of last minute. And is there anything, personally that you could or would be willing to share with us about what it's all been like just from that angle of things, not forgetting that there are a lot of personal challenges going through the season as well?
I mean, Kendall obviously is going through an amazing amount of different things, which, you know, I can let her speak to, but I mean, I can speak a little bit for her. I played professional hockey for 17 years, you know, played in the NHL 14. You know, I've never, ever seen anyone go through the things that she's gone through this year, not only having a newborn, but traveling with them, having a 20-year-old nanny that she's trying to manage as well as be a captain of a team, the face of a franchise, of the league. I mean, for her, it's been unbelievable. I mean, someone told me once they described her as a force of nature. There's no doubt. And, you know, for me and my small part, I mean, when she's doing all that, and I know her personally, I know her well, and there was an opportunity for me to come aboard to help with her and her journey. There was no question in my mind that I'd be here.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just to add, I mean, it's been a whirlwind of a year, 10 months or whatever it's been for all of us. You know, obviously me personally as a new mom, you know, I remember playing that first game actually right here in Boston on January 3rd. It was almost 6 months to the date exactly from giving birth to my son Drew, and just the emotion behind that of, you know, just the birth of two incredible things in my life. Not that my son is a thing, but just him, and then the league. It was that first game. He was there, obviously, as Coach Klee mentioned, the nanny was there as well. And but yeah, it's hard to put into words what this year has been, what it's meant to the sport. Most importantly, you know, I think this is the greatest year of hockey we've ever seen in the existence of sport, for so many reasons. And you know, it's been very special for me personally for many reasons. But we would be here for 10 days if I try to list all of those reasons.
Thank you. That's all I had. Good luck, both of you.
Sophia Blue, please.
Hi, Sophia Blue, student journalist from Minnehaha Academy. Kind of going back to the goal being overturned, how would you say that the goal being overturned and having to come back for a game 5 would fuel your motivation to get the last goal and win the Walter Cup?
Well, I think it's just another opportunity for us. I mean, we all love hockey. I mean, all the players love it, the coaches love it, the staff loves it. I mean, obviously, it's been a long year. It's been a long series. It's been a long playoff. All those things, you know, kind of factor in. But the fact is, we get to play another game, so we have another opportunity to try to reach our goal, which was winning the championship. So, yes, it was deflating at the time, but you know, when I went in the room after, I wasn't in tears. I wasn't that distraught. Just said, hey, we got another opportunity to go. We're going to get on a plane and fly to Boston, and then we're going to have one game to try to make it happen.
Thank you.
Alex Sazzi, please.
Hi, thanks so much for taking the time. Alex Azzi, freelancing. Kendall, a question for you. I know that the competitor in you is focused exactly on the game and what's happening on the ice, but it feels like there's some poetry in seeing you and Hillary go head to head in this championship series. Can you reflect on just what it's like to have a friend like that who you've gone through so much together and getting this league off the ground, and even back to your fight against USA Hockey in 2017, what it needs to go against her?
Yeah, it is poetic, Alex. I think, you know, I think I've thought about that a lot, for sure. And just, yeah, it sucks to play against her. There's no doubt about that. You know, it's easier to fight with her than it is against her. But we've been in so many, and by fight, you know what I mean. But we've been in so many battles, together, you know, throughout the years of our careers. I think, when you look at Hillary Knight's resume, you look and you're like, what more can she accomplish? What more can she do? And the scary part about that is I think she's accomplished more off the ice, for this sport than she has on the ice. And I've been lucky to be by her side and to learn from her, through the many years of her career, and you know, the creation of this league and how hard it's been, and you know, the really the last 5 years. especially last year when I was out due to being pregnant and just, trying not to necessarily like bother her with things while she was still playing, but she's always a phone call away, and she knows when I call, it's like, okay, what's up? What do we, what fight needs to, what do we need to do? What's going on? I'm like, I'm so sorry to bother you, Hill, but, again, it's just, we're not where we're at in this sport without Hillary Knight. And, yeah, I have to play against her. But there's no doubt when we take those jerseys off, we're on to the next, whatever that may be. And, I think I'm just for, the many teams I've been on with her and, now whatever playing against her, but just, it's been incredible to watch everything that she's accomplished on the ice, but more so off the ice. And I know we're all living, the dream we're living because of a lot of the work that, Hillary has put in, whether people see it or don't see it or recognize it or, even know, like she does so much behind the scenes.
Thank you.
Nathan Vaughn, please.
Nathan Vaughn, Snake Cup of Chowder. You guys are no strangers to big games and big crowds, but tonight seems to be a little bit different for women's hockey with the ticket prices going for the get-in price of the equal to the Eastern Conference Celtics tickets and being sold now at almost $4,000. How does it feel to be playing at an event that is that in demand?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tremendous. Yeah, it's tremendous for the players. It just shows the value that they bring to pro sports, which I mean is something they've been, looking for several years, and obviously we're super thankful to the Walter Group and Billie Jean King and Alana and their whole group for supporting it and basically getting this venture going, because now I think they're seeing the fruits of the thing that are working. That people love to see it. It's a great sport. It's super competitive. And that's why we love sports. That's why people love sports. That's why they want to come. That's why they're not worried about ticket prices. They want to be there for a chance to see it, which is super exciting.
And a follow-up for Kendall. You made a name here in Boston playing for Northeastern. Your coaches have been in the stands for this playoffs. What's it kind of been like to play in a game like this back in a town that you made such a mark on?
Yeah, it's always great to come back to Boston. Strongest is not Matthews, but it's close enough, and it's exciting to be back and to be around so many familiar faces.
No place is Matthews, but thank you very much.